All right. So again, I wanted to say shout out to everybody in the Mickey Militia and shout out to the Apes here for tuning into our special Saturday AMA with the team from Steamboat Willie, more commonly known as Mickey on ETH. These guys launched December 29th, small starting cap. And again, the thing I like about it is it didn't just shoot up first night off launch. It kind of sat dormant, accumulated up and down a little bit until January 1st timeline. So a couple of days. And then that's when you guys started to take off towards your first all-time high of around 18 million. It's a pretty crazy 3-day ride for anybody who jumped in over there in the Mickey community. And as mentioned, in the space, as things go up, it is often healthy for them to correct. And you guys kind of found your floor. It looked like around that 5 million range, bouncing between 5 to 7 a couple times, since I was watching the last few days, and then pushed again this morning up to 9 million. So as I said, the social activity, I'm not a chart guy so much, but the social activity here for me is phenomenal. Outperforming names like Grok, Pepe, and stuff on your search optimization. And then you guys are again seeing 400,000 to 1 million views on your tweets. Like, just again, projects would kill for that type of exposure within this market. And that gets into what you guys have kind of identified, which was the public release of a very historic, famous Disney character, which is Steamboat Willie Mickey. Again, even going to The Simpsons, they've made a knockoff and homage to this. So, definitely a cool story. And I'm really interested to see how you guys play up on this and kind of take advantage of that depth of brand that you guys are able to capitalize on here. So yeah, for me, really good narrative. As always with these plays, guys, jump into the community, really understand what the community is all about, how you can get involved and do your research from there. But Kimbo, thanks so much, man. Done a great job so far and happy to have the militia joining us.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, brother. It's an honor to be on here. I think you, as somebody in this space for the last several years, have done a phenomenal job of making a brand and making a reputation and building a house within this space. And the callers are news outlets in this space. And we need you guys, and you've done a wonderful job. You're an OG for sure at this point, and I remember you all the way back from 2021 and that bull season. So thank you for you and all that you do in your community and having us on here. But yeah, so Olva, the other dev, we are co-deving this, guys. So I'm Kimbo, Olva is the other dev. We're just traders. We woke up one morning and we hopped on the mic and we were analyzing the market. And we look at bots, we look at live pairs, what have you. We were looking for the next ape, checking on our bags. And Olva was reading some, I guess, a little bit more traditional news. He was on Wall Street Journal and he stumbled upon this Mickey concept in like public domain, whatever. And he pitched it to me on the phone that morning. And right off the rip, I knew there was something there, something kind of special. I had remembered that Pooh ran to 100 million market cap off of a similar concept. And yeah, we got to it, launched about 48 hours later in anticipation of this event on January 1st. And immediately people recognized this as a winner. They liked it. Us being traders, we really tried to build something that was appealing to traders. We wanted to make this, by traders for traders. So immediately after launch, we took care of the fundamentals, 0-0. Burnt the LP, renounced this thing. So it will trade on Ethereum forever. For as long as miners are mining, we'll have Mickey on Ethereum. And that's essentially how the birth happened. But I hear you bringing up community a lot, man. And that took some time to form. But we have an insane militia now. So many regulars, people doing it this like it's their job in the Mickey TG all day, whether it's scraping Twitter, finding stuff to raid, or it's the 50 people on VC that we have 24/7, people finding Mickey in the news, relevant stuff, news clips, callers who called and rating them. the army has been incredible thus far. So we have such a dedicated fan base. So many people want to see this happen. And I think that our market cap and the volume is a testament to that. I mean, we ran up hard and we ran up fast, and BTC nuked, and we had our correction. But our market cap doubling within the last 4 hours is just a testament to the fact that the people really want this. They believe in it, and we have an incredible fundamental base to ride this thing up. And we're hunting for the biggest and the best blue chips to flip them at this point.
Again, like really appreciate the background on yourself, and it's nice to know like you and your partner there, your co-dev, have that trading experience and that market really that market depth, right? So you just really understand narratives and what can make sense. And I actually messaged your marketer when you referenced poo, being like, love that you referenced it, because for me that's kind of what stood out, because I did ride that wave. Like I think I got into like 2 million, rode it all the way up to the top of like 160 something, 170 or whatever it ended up hitting. So yeah, like obviously great times for me on that. And I understand the strength of a narrative like this or like that. But the thing that Pooh didn't have, obviously, was that IP, freedom, if you will, with the public domain being released. So I wanted to talk about how you guys, again, just have that opportunity that although other narratives have run to 100 plus million, they've done it without something that you guys have.
Yeah, absolutely. So for those of you who don't know kind of how public domain works, after 95 years, the exclusivity rights of that fall out essentially. So on January 1st, 2024, Steamboat Willie, Mickey, the first inception by Walt Disney of Mickey Mouse, became public domain. Now that means that you can use the name, the branding, the logo, its likeness for any kind of commercial, for profit enterprise that you would like to. So, for example, 2 years ago, let's say, if you wanted to make a restaurant and you wanted to call it Steamboat Willie, Disney would have had, full permission under the law to sue the living shit out of you for copyright infringement, DMCA, everything that you have. On January 1st, that ran out. So what did we do? We launched our NFT collection exactly at 12:01, as soon as it went public domain, and we just saw the thing take fire. People were obsessed with it. We did a 1928 supply with 70 unique characteristics for that small collection, and people ate it up instantly. We were the top NFT collection in the world, trending on OpenSea for about 72 hours. We reached a quarter of an ETH price floor. We had people spending 2 ETH just for rare Mickeys. It was an amazing thing to see. A lot of them still aren't listed, but those NFTs will go to use with some of the products that we release later.
Awesome. And then you did mention at kind of the tail end of what you were going through, that you guys are looking through to find other blue chips, within the market to invest in. Now, is this something that you guys are doing for like, your personal side of things, like what you
Oh
guys
no,
do?
no. I'm just
Or that's
saying
stuff
we're
you guys are
coming
building
we're
up?
coming for Grok. We're
Oh,
coming for
okay.
Pepe. Guys,
I
look at
got
the
you.
chart.
I got
We
you.
are a third of the size of Grok. Do you know what this market is going to do if Mickey flips Grok? People will typically throw out numbers like 10 mil and 50 mil and whatever. I think our goal needs to be, as a team, as an army, we flip Grok and we take the whole market. Mickey becomes a blue chip, and this thing can run to billions in a bull run. And go look at it. We're about the third the size of Grok in terms of LP. We have a diehard community. Our brand is the biggest meme, biggest cartoon in the history of the world ever. Mickey Mouse is recognizable on every single corner of the globe. And yeah, I think that once we start hunting down the other top blue chips, top three, top five, and we come for Bitcoin and we come for Grok, things are going to get really crazy.
Appreciate the clarification because I wasn't sure if you guys were going to go the route of maybe like building up
No,
a
no,
like
we're
or a treasury
not the
fund where
hedge
you guys are
fund.
flipping
Nope.
other tokens to generate funds for the project. So yeah, just wanted to clarify that, and I appreciate that, and it does make sense, and I agree, right? Because like the narrative on this is huge, and then like you guys haven't even talked about like the whole fact that Disney and like Elon Musk are having a little bit of that battle. I know you've kind of retweeted and been active on some of the social side of things, kind of playing off of the fun element between like the Optimus and the Mickey MMA battle. But like that is a whole other kind of layer of the narrative or of the potential exposure that you guys could get throughout. Because, if Disney really wanted to give Elon like an FU, well, they know that he's pretty big in the crypto space. So like how funny would it be if Disney started to pump a coin harder than Elon would, right? Like that would steal some of his clout away in the realm that he lives in on X. So it'd be kind of interesting to watch that side of the equation too going forward.
Oh, absolutely. Elon is not a fan of Disney's business practices. Now, there is a picture of him as a child in a Mickey t-shirt. So Elon has had his qualms with Disney. I think that there is possibility that Elon does tweet in significant fashion about Disney, or he maybe butts heads with them. I mean, that's just going to be all the better for us. The fact that Elon has mentioned it, it's really not one of the driving factors, I would say, of this project. There's so much more here. The $74 billion that Disney has made off of Mickey, and now we are suddenly the largest Mickey community in crypto. If they were to auction off the rights to Mickey, it would have gone for tens of billions of dollars, and we have that today on the blockchain. Mickey is owned by us. It's owned by not Disney, but us. So, in regards to Elon, though, yeah, Elon's mentioned Mickey. He said opt the mouse versus Mickey. It'll be interesting to see what happens, but I think there are other, more major driving forces behind this project. But it's definitely interesting to see that we're even getting love from Elon, as well.
Sure. And another thing I wanted to go into is like as you guys have success, like what we see with these narrative plays or these metas that pop up is, copycats or people will try and come up after and almost like steal or, piggyback off that narrative. So like what are some of the things you guys are doing just as a community to, for lack of a better term, safeguard yourself against, these copycats who may pop up in the future?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, this really reminds me of that interview that Vitalik Buterin had with Lex Friedman like 2 years ago, and Vitalik said that like the community decides what the official contract address is. So I think that's the way that things are always going to work. What the most people decide is going to be, the quote unquote official thing. But the bottom line is that you guys can go look at who deployed Mickey first. There's Mickey on Solana. There, was a copycat Mickey NFT collection. Go look, guys. It's on the blockchain. You can see what block that we were deployed. We were the first one. There was one token that like had 15K in liquidity and had a 30 mil market cap, and everybody was confused like 5 days ago. Is this the Mickey? Well, it rugged. Unfortunately, I'm sorry to anyone who potentially lost money in that. But we were the first. We were always the biggest and the best. It only made our community stronger, really, when that happened. People were shilling the daylights out of our project and our official contract address. Everybody was putting it in every single tweet or the Dex Tools link. Our community went berserk that day and made sure that everybody knew that we were the official Mickey. And it was like 12 hours later, we started sending to all-time high and just ridiculous levels. So the community did an amazing job with that. We've had them attempt to attack us in our spaces and whatever else, but we feel like that copycat that copycat hype has kind of died out now. A lot of those projects are, scams and dead and gone at this point or whatever. So, it's just nice to know that we don't really quite have to deal with that like we used to. But that was like one of the best community building things that really happened to us because we really had to go hard in those times and people buckled down, and we've just grown so much since then that a lot of people in the community are like, yeah, this is worth it. This is long term. I can sink my teeth into this and kind of get a role and have a part in this and be a part of it. And that's why we have like so many people who are modded up now or running raids or running VC, or whether it's just people starting community spaces for Mickey on their own on Twitter and getting 10, 20, 30 people in there. It's just made the community stronger over time.
No, and I think again, you guys have done a great job. I did reference the fact that you've held the top spot on Shield, which is, in my opinion, probably the best social tool that exists out there for helping these Telegram communities or helping to onboard new members into communities and get them engaged within your social activities. So like great job for you guys in utilizing something like that. But not only that, like great job for you by your community at like getting the top spot, because that in itself gets you some recognition, not just amongst that, but Shield's in I think 10,000 plus different communities, right? So not only are you guys getting the exposure and showing your strength, but all those other projects or individuals who get that exposure to Shield will then see Mickey as the top group. And, you're able to organically get that exposure just by your community strength. So, I mean, I've seen it. You guys are doing a great job. You just pushed past the 1 week mark for the token being live. So, I mean, there's a few kind of small little milestones just happening here and there. But yeah, what does the next week look like? Because you guys have done a great job community based with your engagement, daily Twitter spaces. I think you have your next one coming up tomorrow because we had the AMA today and you had one yesterday. And you've had like 500 plus people tune into all your spaces. So great engagement, and you haven't really pushed a ton of outbound marketing yet. So what does like the next week look like for just engaging with different communities and trying to get the brand out there?
Well, I think we've fundamentally built a great foundation, right? What does a project need to scale to a billion? It needs a pretty large team. It's basically a startup. So immediately Ova and I realized how much hype there was around this. A couple serious callers. Um, I got on the phone with them and they were like, yeah, this is a pretty insane opportunity. Um, we had one of the most OG callers in the space, Bitbagger, put up like 16 ETH, over $30,000 of his own money to add LP to this project. I don't really know if anything gets more bullish than that, or the fact that the burn address is the top holder. I mean, that's pretty crazy that people are adding huge money like that, and on top of it, a seasoned veteran caller adding his own money as LP. That's just ridiculous. But in terms of like the marketing, I feel like we've done a great job and we've done things organically. I mean, a lot of people, um, have different ideas and different approaches as to how you do something like this, but we knew that we immediately needed to scale. So we kind of started interviewing community members, seeing who was up for the job, who was responsible enough to run certain tasks. And that's when we started onboarding people like Bree, a community member who is just super talkative and was killing it in VC one night, a community lounge, and everybody really liked her. And now the girl is running, community VC basically 24 hours a day. There's at least 30, 40, 50 people in there who are getting their questions answered. They kind of have familiar faces to talk to. And there's several great people like Bree and Seb doing that within our spaces. I mean, within our community VC. So to just have that 50 people at all times working for the project and rating and looking for stuff, I mean, it's a major asset. That was something I noticed about Grok that they did exceptionally well, is they had those community leaders there 24/7. And it's paid off. We've seen normies who are like, I don't really know that much about this meme coin game. How do I hop into this? And they've walked them through it step by step. Or whether it was the community member Mike C, who ended up stepping up and saying, dude, I can run raids like nobody else. I was one of the 10 raiders that they used to test Chatter Shield and develop Chatter Shield. Is it cool if I run some raids? And we, did a light interview with the guy, gave him mod status, and now the guy is, relentlessly running raids within our community. So, in order to get to the levels that we want to, we needed to scale up. This needed to be a bigger team. And I feel like by us onboarding a couple dozen people into this project and giving them stake and say within it, it just made a huge difference. I would say our team is huge at this point. It's not just Olva and I. Our team is the community, and everybody's working like, they own a piece of it. So I would say that is like by far our best marketing. That is something that money cannot buy. That is something that you do not see in other projects. They're there for 2 to 4 hours after launch, and then they're gone. So 7 days in, and we have a stronger community than we've ever had. More messages in the Telegram per day than we've ever had. I look at the statistics on a daily basis. We have so many joins. The holder count is increasing. Clearly what we are doing is working. And on top of it, we've covered the other bases. We have the best callers on our team. We have people like Poe and Dojin and Eric Stevens and Stecky culture calling this project. So many of them we didn't even approach or pay, and they're calling the project. So we just had another major caller yesterday who shouted out Mickey. Never approached him. So it's heartwarming to see that some of the biggest and the best influencers in the space who they see 1,000 projects per day. And these projects offer them an ETH and 2 ETH to call their project. And these guys are aping their own money at Mickey without us even reaching out to them. So it just goes to show what an amazing setup we have, how good the fundamentals look. Things have been executed well so far. We are building. We are looking to release more products under this Mickey name and this brand identity that we would not have been able to do prior to January 1st. And we will have another product rolling out. The NFTs were the first. It's under development, but we keep everything locked up until we deliver it, just like with the NFTs. We did not announce them until they were done, until they were set, until everything was A-OK, I's dotted, T's crossed, and we dropped them, and look what it did for the project, and look what it did for the price. We trended basically everywhere around the world as the top project on ERC20 and ERC721 NFTs. So with number one coin, number one NFT in the world. And I think that was because the execution was so good. So that's how we like to do business around here. We just like to deliver. We don't put out bullshit roadmaps. When we have stuff, we drop it and we do it right.
It's awesome. And it's good to see that you guys have had that organic reach within the space and, getting different people to catch wind of the project and organically shout you out, bring in their audience and, being able to further engage with some of those people that, supported you in the early stages will be great because, as we see, if you guys can connect well with some of those people who had the floor or maybe got in at earlier stages, it's going to allow you to push like higher highs, right? And your lows will be higher as well. So, that's the type of mentality and engagement that you guys want to sustain. And it seems like you're well on your way, in the early stages to doing that. So, great job from you guys. And the other thing with it, these narrative or, hype plays is there is some volatility involved, right? So maybe, how do you speak and help the normal people who may come into this project like, I came into SafeMoon as my first buy back in the day, knowing absolutely nothing about crypto. I just sent my buddy some money and then he sent me back, 8 times that
Same.
afterwards. Oh, this crypto thing
Same,
is
dude.
sick. Right. right? So like, how do you guys help
Yeah.
those people understand that maybe if they're coming in because of the hype and the chart goes down, like how do you just keep the vibe positive? I think is the best way to phrase the question for
Well,
those
there's so
people who are
much.
you're
y-
onboarding.
Yeah, one of my favorite chants that I see in the Telegram constantly is Mickey starts the bull run. And I think what was exciting about Pepe is that I had an actual normie friend call me at 300 mil and say, okay, bro, you're into crypto. Like, I'm hearing about this thing. Like, do I buy this? So the normie game is a different game. The normie game is bull run game, guys, and we have Bitcoin having on April 24th, 2024. We're not that far away from what is historically always a pump in the market. Bitcoin having is typically always followed by a pump in the market. So yeah, it's certainly of concern, and we absolutely do want to bring some normie money into this. I think that if we do something like we flip Grok and we can accomplish that in the next week or two, Mickey is poised potentially to be a blue chip that can run to billions in a bull market. And I think as important as that money, that normie money is, we are taking steps to bring it in. Yesterday, we just officiated and made the payment for Flues, which essentially will allow anybody to buy Mickey with Apple Pay or Google Pay or Samsung Pay. So I don't really know if there is a better method to just make this thing easy and accessible to normies who may want to buy it, seeing that we have a bull run coming around in the next couple months, or at least the start of one. Now, maybe we see DeFi summer kind of vibes throughout 2024, and the bull market really kicks off hard in 2025. That's possible, but we know that we're going to see improved market conditions in the next couple months. And yeah, we onboarded Flues in order to do that. Now, we also are pursuing a little bit more normie avenues of garnering attention, like YouTube, like TikTok. We have had some people making content, but we are going to do our big YouTube push within the next week. We're in negotiations with several dozen of them now, just getting things like pricing and overall what is expected from the package. So we're hunting normie money. We feel like these are essential things to cover on a long-term project like this. Much of crypto knows about us. There are plenty of corners that don't, whether it's the Facebook groups or the WhatsApp groups or the international communities or what have you. Um, but but yeah, we certainly are hunting that normie money and a little bit more of the diverse marketing tactics. But I would not say those are our core or our fundamental. The community is the fundamental. The community is by far our biggest asset.
Like I said a few times, like that's what's really stood out to me, like doing my research. And once I got to understand the narrative side better, it made a lot more sense how you guys were able to achieve like the metrics that I was seeing. So yeah, definitely if you stay consistent and active within the community side of things, those are the way these narrative or these really strong meme plays have kind of taken off in the past. So no, that's awesome. Now I know you guys did also release, a small NFT collection kind of early on within your run. So I just wanted to talk because I've seen there's a few questions of people asking on future collections or if this might be something you guys do again and what that would look like.
Yeah. So I don't think that necessarily we will do it again. For the most part, at the time of release, it was an art project, but it gives us the perfect opportunity to do, like heightened perks. or like membership opportunities. So they weren't for nothing. They're part of a larger plan. The only thing regarding NFTs that some people have had up in the air is like whether or not we want to do a Discord community. Would absolutely prefer not to. We are open though to any types of suggestions. If interest behind that grows, we'll certainly do that. But right now, in terms of bots and mods and the overall presence that we can bring in the Telegram, we like to keep everybody in there, every type of Mickey holder, and have them shilling hard. So the NFT project will eventually give people heightened levels of membership within the Mickey ecosystem. But for right now, I guess technically they are art. And the floor is doing really good. People are sweeping them. People love them. Mickey comic books sold for $215,000 IRL, and people love the Mickey collectibles.
Like my sister's having a baby in the next couple of months, and like even for her daughter, I got her some like Minnie Mouse based stuff. So like it's, I'm in my
Yeah, of
30s,
course.
and that
Yeah.
brand has been around for, it's just like it's so old. I think it's like embedded in every kind of household, or like, yeah, it's just,
Yeah,
it's
I think it has something that Shiba Inu didn't. It has something that Grok did not. Mickey is a familiar face to all of us. And it's just great to see the movement behind it. There's like even some like kind of anti-government chads and anti big corporation chads in our Telegram going super hard saying Mickey is ours, not Disney's. So it's kind of a revolution in that sense that, we can put this thing on Ethereum, it lives forever, and we all own a piece of it.
like, it's true. And I've been trying to get more into, as I've gotten older and like have, my own office and stuff now. Collectibles are something that are really big. I mean, I think it'd be kind of cool. I don't know how it would work, if it would function, like, what the function would be, but if, there was a way to raise or generate funds so that you guys could like maybe purchase like a collectible and auction it off to a community member. Like, again, it's, the project would have to run for a while so that like the funds could be accumulated. It'd have to make sense for the project, but something like that to just, embed yourself further within like the normies who are big into that thing, because like $250,000 to pay for a comic book is not a small amount of money. So clearly those collectors have money. Like, we know that, right? So that's not a bad market to try and target, going forward
Yeah,
too.
yeah, it's interesting. I prefer to build stuff that's more on chain. We're kind of stick to that style of product, decentralized Disney kind of. But the collectibles are a big thing for sure. I just see so many projects that try to do in real like in life assets and stuff like that. It's extremely chaotic. I just haven't seen anybody do it right yet. So we'll do on chain and we'll start with on chain first. But I think that as time continues, anything is really possible.
So I did have a question, actually, considering like you just mentioned on chain. So this one comes from Alpha. He said, I love the comic books that Disney used to produce. Do you guys have a plan to make something similar to that, more so for the blockchain? You could call it Mickey and Friends Crypto, or something like Mickey and Crypto Friends, and it'd be like a small little animated series related to maybe education, or you could use that as a way to educate your normal people into the project, kind of fun, approachable, but keep to the core of what Disney and the animation was all about with Steamboat Willie. I did like that one from Alpha.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of people are talking about kind of the in-house media studio, um, which is, yeah, a super interesting concept. We have considered it heavily. Overall, we have just kind of been producing our own media. We have like a wonderful animator that has been creating a ton of the content, whether it's the custom videos on Twitter or in the Telegram that you've been seeing. We have a wonderful animator who's been making these kind of short style videos of Steamboat Willie. But overall, if we want to do something that rewards NFT holders and actually increases the price of Mickey, there are better ways than us doing short story like feature films or something like that. So we want to do something that heavily burns the supply, and we want to do something that gives you incentive to own an NFT. We feel like what we are currently building accomplishes something even better for the entire Mickey ecosystem. So that's kind of um, the the basis of our orientation and where we're going with this.
No, I mean it just makes sense. I think that's why
Yeah.
you've like heard it talked about. And for me, it's fun. I liked, I like this question, but I personally I would love to see like that Mickey themed animation used in a way to educate people, or like, a fun onboarding video. That would be like
Yeah.
that would be a first in terms of like, animation for education. You could almost like kind of title it that way. But yeah, no, like really, really solid stuff, man. Like, great speaker for sure. Love the narrative, and you guys just, great work for your partner. Great shout out to him for that identification while you guys were on stream breaking down some narratives and checking out, things in the
Oh
market
yeah.
that were moving. So
For sure, bro. For sure. I mean, I think that everybody should keep their eyes up and ears open. And as a trader, it doesn't matter if you're in crypto or you're trading commodities or whatever. It's good to have a kind of a holistic view of the world and view of markets and what might be going on in other sectors. And we don't normally read Wall Street Journal and Forbes, but sometimes we like to check up on the market and see the macro stuff that's going on and the bigger picture things and some of the trends. And it's just really lucky that we stumbled upon this when we did, and just executed it with the success that we did.
man. So like let's just break down like the week ahead. What can everybody expect from you guys? I know you're gonna stay active on the rating. But what does the week ahead look like for the Mickey community, taking and hopefully capitalizing on this momentum you're picking up over the weekend? Because like that's another trend I'll kind of bring up, because you do market analysis, as you mentioned. So what we've seen with these narrative plays, I'll use Grok as an example, but if you guys can move really heavily over the weekend and kind of take some of the eyes on the project, weekends are notoriously dead in crypto most of the time. So if you move like that, you're going to catch the eyes of the people who are maybe not paying attention on the weekend. And we've seen these projects who have crazy weekend moves like hit their next leg come the week. So like that happened with Grok, and I know we've kind of compared it, in terms of market cap and maybe legs up and down in terms of the chart in the early stages. So yeah, like that's another thing that we haven't really talked about. But what's the plan to carry over this really strong momentum from the weekend?
Yeah, definitely. The thing is that weekends can be typically a little bit tricky or whatever, but in my opinion, it's a trade-off. Like some people work jobs during the week where they're super bored at their job, and like that's the time that they can trade crypto, and the weekend they spend it with their girlfriend or their fiance or whoever, So there's some people who like the week is busy for them. Now, there's some people who are busting down work all week long, and they're like, the weekend is only available. So with Mickey, we take it day by day. Every single day is a different day and a new challenge. So if you want to go out like a week or to the macro or whatever, yeah, we have to continue to do the fundamentals like we have. We have to continue to hit our raids. We have to continue to onboard new influencers. We have to continue to make new content and spread the word and continue the Mickey militia on this steamboat. And we'll do great things. I mean, there are things that the team has, lined up, planned, certain announcements. Like we do think that CG and CMC is due to go through at any single point in time right now. I think they're just backed up. I mean, we submitted them before the 1st of January, and we should pass with flying colors. We've reached out to their customer support several times, but I think for like normie money and stuff like that, it's certainly important that we have CG and we have CMC, and we are highly researchable. So those are some of the objectives. I would say the objectives of the community are the same. The team will continue to deliver. We might have a second product dropping at some point this week. We are in the prototype phase. And yeah, it should be very exciting. We're seeing price appreciation, a lot of callers that are, bringing updates and making more awareness of the situation right now. And we're seeing a lot of hype in the group chats and the privates, regarding this.
I'm just kind of going through some of the social posts that you guys have, and again, it's kind of crazy to think a project that's this new is able to get that level of connection on some of its posts, but it's really good. I saw Dogen just launched a update, which is nice.
Yeah, I mean it's one of the biggest and the best within the space that's shouting us out. We garner so much attention from some of the people that are involved. It's incredible. Their reach is phenomenal. And yeah, we are pounding out numbers like nobody else on social media. Grok didn't see these types of numbers, and we cannot wait until we see the normie attention, because we have rated all of the large news sites, like whether it's Forbes or Benzinga or Wall Street Journal or so many of the others, ABC News, that have been talking about Steamboat Willie and Mickey. We feel like because we have rated so many of their posts. I mean, go on Forbes, Twitter, find the post about Steamboat Willie from a day ago, and just look at the comment section. It's 95% people shilling the project. There's no way that somebody at Forbes did not recognize this and see that the largest token on Ethereum for the last week is Mickey. So we hope to see a shout pretty soon.
No, for sure. And I don't know if you guys have been on I don't know if you guys popped in last Sunday to the Kid and Walt show. I don't know if you guys tuned in or jumped into that one last week, but I'm talking to the boys, and I'm hoping that we could get you guys in to that space
Oh, that'd be
tomorrow.
awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
no,
would
I'm
be
just
happy to.
want to make sure it times out, because I'm just going through your Twitter here. I'm talking to them in DMs right now to try and set that up, because they put out their announcement kind of like later Saturday. So I just want to make sure I can get you guys onto the actual announcement shout out, so that like the community can go in and rate it.
We typically do between like 3 and 5 p.m.
Yeah.
And then we kind of parlay that with some of our calls and influencers. So usually we decide like 12 hours before we start putting out the feelers, like, hey guys, what time works best for everybody tomorrow? So we don't have a concrete time for it, but we run spaces every damn day.
But yeah, no, like I
Oh.
think that would be good to get you guys some extra exposure, and just keep like I said, keep the kind of the marketing and the community building going, because they kind of typically garner around anywhere from like 3 to 4K tune-ins for the space. It's been really cool to watch them grow since I started kind of co-hosting and jumping in with them in the spring. So I think we've covered off a lot of like what you guys do. I mean, for me, social exposure has been really good. Like the community active on the raids, the narrative, the fact that the public domain has gone live. Like, once I realized that, I was like, man, there's some real depth to this narrative, and that's what I like. So, I'm not a chart guy, as I always say. There is, volatility sometimes with these narrative plays, but the narrative is really strong. If the social activity continues to remain there, we often see these things recover and push new all-time highs, a couple weeks in. So, man, I can't wait to continue to watch it and kind of stay alongside this community. I know I definitely am going to try and get you guys into a couple of different spaces. We already mentioned that one on Monday. I know you guys are going to be jumping into meme culture with Coin Merge, so I can't wait to have you guys come in there at 8 p.m. Eastern. And then, as I mentioned, I'll try and get you guys in. Sure Walton Kid would love to have you tomorrow. So we'll get that set up. And yeah, just really try and kind of get that Mickey brand out there more. And personally, love it. I mean, like I said, I laughed about the name of the brand name because I love The Simpsons, and this will just remind me of like that one episode where Bart and Lisa help like Chester take the rights back from like Itchy and Trashy Studio because the guy like actually created Steamboat Itchy, which is a knockoff of Steamboat Willie, which again
Oh,
like
that's crazy.
it's pretty cool. So again, I'm a big Simpson guy from back in the day, and Steamboat Willie, Steamboat Itchy have always kind of been a really fun narrative for me and bring in a lot of nostalgia. So yeah, this is a play that for me personally, again, not financial advice, but personally, the narrative makes a lot of sense and does hit that nostalgia button. So I'm excited to see what you guys can do. And with that, Kimball, I'll throw you the mic to close out, but I'm hoping we can see you guys in spaces, tomorrow and Monday and kind of keep this momentum running hot into the week.
Oh, absolutely. I'm sure it will, man. We are performing insanely well on a Saturday right now. The sellers are out of tokens, man. And I mean, going on that, I think one thing that we didn't touch during this meeting that, I'd love to shout out is that we have one of the best holder distributions that you will ever see at these levels. We have 5 holders who possess more than 1% of this token, and the top holder is the burn address with almost 4%. We had a whale, a top 50 whale, burn 5 ETH worth of Mickey a day or two ago during like a little Telegram burn party. So I think anywhere from the technicals and the fundamentals of how things are laid out, past the fact that this is much bigger than a, 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 a a tiny little team at this point. The community is the team. And we have this narrative that's already generated $74 billion. And Mickey is the most recognizable cartoon on planet Earth. Whether you go to the middle of the Amazon basically and hold up a picture of Mickey Mouse, they know what it is. We just I just like to say that I feel like we're poised for greatness. The community has done an incredible job thus far. They deserve a pat on the back for their work, and we are going to continue pushing, continue fighting. This has been such an amazing journey, and I would love to come up here again in a week or two or a month or something like that and give you a little update as to what we're doing, because it's been such an amazing journey, and this is just the beginning.
And again, I can't wait. Like for me, I've said it a few times with different projects, but my overall mentality is continuity. If you can show that with communities and projects, it's so much easier on our side of the equation, right? Because our community can actually understand what the project's about if we give multiple touch points a little bit better and they can follow the journey, and hopefully we add better support that way. So I come from a sales background, and I've always said, working with repeat customers is a lot easier than onboarding new
Totally.
ones. I feel the same way about projects in the sense of
Big
why
DCAs
dilute,
all day.
why dilute your channel to 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 projects a day when you can pick a couple, and if they're doing the right things, just continue to support them. So yeah, love that. And would be happy to have you guys back in the future. And then in the meantime, we'll definitely be seeing you guys on a few of those spaces. So I can't wait to see what the Twitter community is like real time, because I've seen the engagement on some of the tweets, but I've seen you guys have had anywhere from 600 to a few thousand people sit into your community spaces, right? So I can't wait to see
Yeah,
what the militia looks like live on X come tomorrow and
consistently.
hopefully Monday.
Yeah, it consistently did. There are like 100 and let's say 150 to 200 people who show up for every single one of our spaces at a weekend. It's mental, and I'd encourage you to hop into the Telegram chat because it is wild. It's fun. People are fucking with the mods. The mods are fucking with people. It's great. It's got a great family vibe. It's it's a great place to hang out. So I'd encourage anybody who just wants to have a laugh or see some crazy shit or some entertainment for the day. Just hop in the Telegram. I'm sure the community would love to see your face in there.
Be awesome. Yeah, I'll jump in. Just let me know when it's done, and I'll come say what's up, and get the vibe going too. And I love hanging out with communities, and I don't do it as much as I used to because, yeah, I mean, sometimes if I jump into a community and have some
And then
fun, I'll open the
they think
VC, and
you're,
then
where's the
something goes
call?
wrong, then I get a bunch of shit, or if I like step away for a day, then they all get mad at me. So like I kind of stop getting as
Yeah.
active, but I do miss a good community VC. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, no, they're in there, man. Just even some of the bigger names, like we never onboarded Stecky or reached out to him or whatever, and like bro is in our chat all day long, like spamming with the gang and the community and just rating shit. So there's some big names in there, some big calls. You won't be alone. We got Dojin and some of the other guys in that group riding really hard. And interacting with the community and shit. So, we keep it welcoming, we keep it fun, we keep it uncensored in our group. And I feel like that's what people, have really gravitated towards.
I think tomorrow's looking pretty good. So, once the T's dotted or the T's crossed, I'll let you know. But yeah, I think tomorrow should be good for that space. So that will be really fun to get you up there in that audience. Again, they've done a phenomenal job building up their show. Love those guys over there. And yeah, one final time, anybody who hasn't yet jumped into the Steamboat Willie Mickey community on Telegram or followed their socials on Twitter, definitely recommend you guys doing so you can stay up to date and active within the community. And again, just continue. If you didn't jump in, you obviously do your own research, take your time, as we always say. Nothing is financial advice, but I love the narrative. I'm going to be jumping into the community, and I'm probably going to look to find myself a bag here of Mickey because yeah, the nostalgia is really good. And yeah, I like the vibe, man. And I like the vibe. I like the nostalgia and the fact that the public domain has been released is kind of just like another cherry on top. So, as I said, not financial advice, but I am going to look to kind of find myself an entry at some point here, and I'll come over and check out the community later today and have some fun. So I appreciate you coming by. Shout out to Send, who helped me kind of coordinate on the background for this with the information for the AMA. So big shout out to him. And, I know Landon also helped set this up. So thanks, Landon, for that. Him and I have been working together since, early on. He was one of my first contacts. So yeah, thanks so much, Kimbo. I appreciate it. And, if you want to have a final shout out from behalf of the Mickey community to the apes, I'll give you the mic, but I'll see you tomorrow. It's looking like.
Yeah, absolutely, bro. Thank you so much for this opportunity. Thank you so much for what you've done for the space as a whole. Each and every single one of us help this DeFi space grow, whether you're a caller or you're a dev or you're a trader or what have you. We each all have our job and the opportunity to help this space grow and flourish. So thank you so much for what you've done, what you've accomplished over the last couple of years. It's really phenomenal. And let's go, Mickey Militia. We are looking better than ever before, gang. We are bigger. We have a better community. The market cap is increasing. You guys are bringing insane attendance to everything I talk on. I could not ask for more from a community. We are going to see our day, fam. Do not let up. We are closer than ever.
Shield bot beat me. I just tried to go in there and be like, let's effing go, Mickey. And the shield bot's like, chat locked as my message went out. I was like, damn it.
Yeah, we're rating hard. We're rating hard every day, bro.
That's what we want to see, man. So I'll see you guys in the chat. I'll see you guys in the Mickey community. And just, yeah, one final time here for me at Caesars. Really appreciate you coming by. I loved watching this one, and it's really been cool to be able to do more research myself as I've chatted with you guys in the lead up to the AMA to understand the actual concept and the vision behind like why you moved forward with this type of narrative. And it's been looking good, really strong so far. So keep community building, and these normies definitely have a chance to come across Mickey a lot easier than some random Enu play. So great identification, and yeah, we'll be there to help support, and we'll see you tomorrow, man. Like I said.
Awesome. Thank you so much, brother.
Awesome. So again, guys, just wanted to say big shout out to the Mickey community. You guys have been killing it. I have been following this one for a while since you guys launched, and didn't really understand the public aspect. Just saw all the hype, and a bunch of people in a few different groups that I know and respect were talking about it, and yeah, love the narrative, man. Like it's really cool. Haven't seen anything like this with the actual domain being released, so I will stay active, and I'm wishing you guys the best of luck.
Oh, Mickey, you so fine. You so fine. You blow my mind. Hey, Mickey.
Hey, Mickey. All right, have a good one, man. I'll catch you tomorrow.